Montana Territory, stormy prairie day. Thunder splits the sky. Rain lashes the windows of a stagecoach, barreling down a muddy trail. The horses snort and strain, wheels slipping through wet clay. Stagecoach moving. Inside, Catherine Ward, 23, clutches a damp letter in gloved hands. Her dress, once fine silk, is wrinkled and speckled with dust. Her eyes, gray, sharp, exhausted, stare out the window at the endless plains. Insert the letter. You are to marry my brother Jacob. He runs the ranch now. You'll be taken care of. Samuel Wyatt. Catherine folds the letter tightly, tucks it back into her satchel. Her other hand touches a worn envelope beneath her bodice, one with fading ink and watermarked corners. She doesn't read it. Not yet. Narrator VO. They told her the West was where women went to disappear. She wasn't sure if they meant that as a threat or a promise. Wyatt Ranch, late afternoon. The coach crests a ridge and slows to a stop. Before her, the Wyatt Ranch spreads across the basin like a scar, wind-worn fences, black smoke rising from the chimney, and a vast barn slouched with time. A man waits near the porch. Jacob Wyatt, mid-30s, is built like a sawed-off mountain. Beard thick, eyes pale and cruel. A scar slashes from his brow to cheek. He doesn't smile as Catherine steps down, rain soaking her cloak. Jacob, you're smaller than I expected. Catherine swallows the sting. Nods once. Catherine, I'm Catherine Ward. He gives her a once-over, then turns away. Jacob, you're Wyatt now. Come on. From the barn, a shadow moves, a man limping slightly, brushing down a horse. He looks up. Their eyes lock. Samuel Wyatt, 29, is leaner than Jacob, with darker hair and a tired grace in the way he moves. He nods at her. She nods back. He doesn't say a word. Wyatt Ranch house. Dinner table, night. The dining table groans under the weight of meat, bread, potatoes. Catherine eats slowly. Jacob drinks deep from a jug of whiskey. Jacob, my pa owed me. You, his only heir. Pay the debt. That's fair, ain't it? Catherine doesn't answer. A young servant girl, no older than 14, clears dishes. Catherine notices purple bruises on her wrist. Jacob raises his cup. Jacob, suinteed, to obedience. He grins at Catherine. She forces a nod. Across the table, Samuel sits silently, eyes on the fire. He drinks only water. Tension pulses in the room like a coiled snake. Hallway, later that night. Catherine walks the dark corridor toward her room. Behind her, Samuel OS. Don't go into the barn alone. Not when he's drunk. She turns. He stands in the shadows, voice low, eyes cautious. Catherine, why are you telling me? A pause. Samuel, because someone should. Bedroom, night. Catherine sits by a frost-covered window. She pulls out the second letter, the old one. The ink is faded, written in a different hand than Jacob's signature. Insert fragment of the letter. I watch the sunset over no man's land and think of you, of wildflowers near your windowsill. I draw them sometimes, even though my hand shakes now. S. She brushes her thumb over the S, then tucks the letter back. Pasture morning. Catherine rides a gray mare through the high grass. She keeps her back straight, but the wind whips through her bonnet. She halts near a tree line. On a stump sits a piece of paper, flapping slightly. Drawn in charcoal, a sketch of her face. Delicate, precise. She turns sharply. Samuel stands several paces back, saddle over his shoulder. Catherine, you drew this. He hesitates. Samuel, I sketch sometimes. That ain't illegal, is it? She steps closer, voice quiet. Catherine, but you've never seen me before I arrived. Samuel soft. Didn't have to. You wrote like someone who didn't want to be saved, just seen. A beat. Their eyes meet. Wind stirs between them like an invisible breath. Wyatt Ranch later. Jacob approaches from the distance, storm in his stride. Jacob OS. Well, he closes the gap, sees the sketch crumpled in Catherine's hand, glares at Samuel. Jacob, Suanteed, you want something that don't belong to you, Sam? He grabs Samuel's collar, pulling him close. Jacob, Suanteed, you forget your place again? Samuel doesn't flinch. Catherine steps in. Catherine, leave him alone. Jacob scoffs, tosses Samuel back. Jacob, you don't speak for men here. You just look pretty and keep quiet. He storms off. Samuel wipes blood from his lip. Barn sunset. Catherine enters quietly. Samuel tends to a lame horse. Catherine, why do you stay? Samuel glances up, jaw clenched. Samuel, because the war ain't the only place a man can lose himself. He looks at her, voice softer now. Samuel, Suanteed, you deserve more than this place. You deserve something kind. A silence falls. They just stand there, among horses and shadows, not touching, but breathing the same storm-heavy air. The prairie didn't give hearts a say in where they beat. But sometimes, two found each other anyway, quietly, like stars appearing before dark truly fell. Stables, morning. The barn breathes with the quiet rustle of straw and the occasional snort of restless horses. Catherine kneels beside a young mare named Juniper, brushing gently along her flank. The horse flinches. Catherine, softly, they told me I'd be taken care of. They didn't say what that meant. Escalation, man versus self. Each day begins earlier. Catherine wakes before the sun, dresses in silence, and finds her solace among the animals. She doesn't complain, but her eyes no longer dart around the ranch house. Her presence becomes a ghost's whisper in the wind. Samuel joins her each morning, always bringing coffee in a tin mug. He never says much. They don't have to. A look exchanged over a saddle strap, his hand steadying hers as she wraps Juniper's wound. Their breath mingles in the cold air, and time softens around them. Samuel, she trusts you. Catherine, she's the only one who does. Silence. Then Samuel, hesitating, pulls a folded paper from his vest. One of the letters she received years ago. Samuel, Jacob never wrote you. Couldn't. He don't read, far less write. It was me. I wrote them all. Her hands go still. Her eyes lock with his. Catherine, all those poems, the sketches. Samuel, I meant every one. But he sent them, claimed them, said if I didn't, he'd send you nothing but a train ticket and a rope. She stares at him, heart hammering. Catherine, so I was promised to a man who lied, and loved by the one who couldn't claim me. Samuel nods slowly, grief hiding behind his gaze. Catherine Vio, it would have been easier to hate him, but love that grows in silence is the kind that never truly dies. Pasture day. The harsh bleat of a cow echoes. Blood on the snow. A calf lies torn. Tracks vanish into the woods. Jacob stands, rifle in hand, breathing heavily. Jacob. Cougar. Saddle up. We ride now. Catherine hesitates. Jacob coldly. Don't make me ask twice, girl. They ride hard into the pines. Jacob swigging from a flask, his words slurring. Jacob, you think I don't see it? You and him, whisperin', starin'. That mare ain't the only one gettin' broke. She doesn't answer. Jacob, Suanteed, I paid for you, didn't I? Promises were made. My father took your debts. That makes you mine. Suddenly, he dismounts, stumbles toward her. Jacob, Suanteed, a man's got rights. He reaches for her bodice. Catherine shoves him. Hard. He falls. Curses her. Fires a shot into the trees in rage. She runs. Branches whip her face. The cold bites. Her dress tears. She trips, sobbing, crawling through brush. Dawn, near the ranch. Catherine stumbles from the forest, eyes wide with trauma, limbs trembling. Samuel sees her and runs. Samuel, Catherine. He catches her as she collapses. Int. Ranch house. Later. Catherine sits by the fire, wrapped in a blanket. Red marks line her collarbone. Her gaze is distant. The door creaks. A man enters. Levi Crowfeather, tall, silent, and carved by weather and war. His coat is worn, a rifle slung across his back. He speaks little English, but his presence fills the room. He crouches beside her, lays a small carved hawk in her hand. Levi, in Comanche, subtitled. A caged bird sings or dies. You are not dying yet. Samuel translates quietly. Samuel, he means you've still got wings, Catherine. Catherine, then teach me to fly. EXT, open field, training montage. Levi and Catherine stand in the snow. He teaches her to hold the rifle. Her hands tremble at first, but then steady. Bang. First shot misses. Bang. Second clips a can. Levi nods with approval. Days pass. She learns to reload fast. How to aim, how to watch the wind. At night, Levi shares dried berries and jerky by the fire. He hums old Comanche melodies. Catherine listens, absorbs strength in silence. Stables, night. Catherine sneaks into the barn. Samuel is tending Juniper's leg. Catherine, if I ran, would you come with me? Samuel looks at her, long and hard. Samuel, no. Her face falls. Samuel, Siontide, not until you're free to choose. Not when running's your only way out. She nods slowly, heartbreaking understanding between them. Catherine, then I'll find my freedom. Somehow, a beat. He cups her cheek. No kiss, just touch. Reverence, like she's made of fire and thunder, and everything he was never allowed to want. EXT Ridgeline night. Levi watches the ranch from a distance. He sees Jacob pacing on the porch, his hand near his gun. Behind him, Catherine stands beside Samuel, shoulders straightened. No longer a guest, no longer afraid. She loads her rifle, breathes deep. Catherine VO. This land doesn't belong to those who shout the loudest, but to those who refuse to kneel. Barn night. A storm rumbles in the distance. Jacob stumbles into the stables, drunk but sharp-eyed. He throws open Samuel's trunk, hunting for liquor, and instead finds the letters. His hands tremble as he reads Samuel's words, words he'd passed off as his own, words Catherine had fallen in love with, poems, promises, a sketch of her face. Jacob, voice shaking, you damn liar. Int. Barn, later that night. Samuel is chained to a stall post. Blood trickles from his temple. Jacob stands over him, breathing hard. Jacob, you think you're better than me? You always thought that. Samuel weakly, she was never yours to keep. Jacob, oh, I ain't keeping her. I'm burying you. At dawn, a ridge outside the ranch, midnight. Catherine rides fast under moonlight. Juniper gallops like wind over snow. She finds Levi Crowfeather near his fire, sharpening an arrowhead. Catherine panting. He's going to kill him. By morning, Levi nods. He doesn't need more. He stands, slings his rifle and whistles. His horse appears from the trees. Levi, then we ride now. Barn, Piaridon. The barn door creaks. Levi enters first, silent and swift. Catherine slips behind him. They find Samuel, barely conscious, wrists bloodied. Catherine softly, I'm here. I'm here. She finds a pitchfork and smashes the lock. Samuel collapses into her arms. Samuel, you came back. Levi urgent. Move. Foothills dawn. The sky begins to bleed gold and fire. The trio gallops through the hills. Samuel weak, but upright on horseback. But then whistles echo. Gunshots ring out. Jacob and 3 ranch hands on horseback descend the slope, rifles raised. Jacob shouting, you think you can take what's mine? Catherine to Samuel, don't you dare die. Cinematic action sequence. Canyon shootout. They plunge into a narrow rocky gorge. Snow kicks up. Hooves echo off stone. Levi dismounts and fires the first shot, striking one rider clean from his horse. Samuel, weakened but steady, covers Catherine. She holds her rifle tight, breath ragged. Jacob and his men close in. Gunfire explodes. Levi takes a hit, his shoulder thrown back in a spray of blood. Catherine, Levi. Samuel turns to shield her. A bullet strikes his side. He grunts, falls to one knee. Catherine, screaming. Samuel. Jacob rides straight at her, rifle raised. Time slows. Catherine lifts the gun Levi gave her. Her eyes lock on Jacob. Bang. Jacob falls from the saddle, dead before he hits the ground. Silence follows. Just wind. Canyon later. Rain begins to fall, lightly at first, then harder. Catherine kneels beside Samuel, pressing her hands to his wound. Catherine choking. Stay with me, please. Samuel faintly smiling. Told you I'd wait for you under open skies. She kisses his forehead and holds on. Montage. Weeks later. Levi, arm in a sling, rides off into the wild. He nods once at Catherine before disappearing into trees. Catherine and Samuel stand on the porch of the newly rebuilt ranch, renamed Juniper Hill. A carved sign hangs proudly. Catherine teaches a young stable girl to ride Juniper, who's no longer skittish. Samuel repairs fence posts, limping but smiling. Stables, evening. The sun dips low. Catherine tacks a small sketch to the wall, the same drawing Samuel made of her years ago. Below it, carved into the wood by Levi's knife, is a Lakota phrase. Hearts that walk true find home. She runs her fingers over it, smiles. Ridgeline sunset. Catherine and Samuel ride together beneath a sky bursting with color, rose and gold clouds stretching far as the eye can see. No words, just wind and peace. Wide shot of Juniper Hill Ranch. The sky above blazes with light. A hawk circles. The phrase carved in Lakota glows in the dying sun. Hearts that walk true find home. Out here on the frontier, love ain't chosen. It chooses. Between fire and frost, silence and screams, some hearts still find their way. If this story stirred something in you, hit that like button. Share it with someone who believes love don't always follow the rules. And tell us in the comments, have you ever been torn between what's right and what your soul whispered was true? Subscribe for more stories where the wind carries secrets, the sky watches everything, and the West never forgets.